Good evening. It's 6 o'clock. Thanks for joining us. Scott's off tonight. Dustin's in, and we are ready for a great weekend as we look live downtown.
That's right. We've had a pleasant week, a hot, sunny week. We've got rain chances this weekend, Rob, though, and we need them.
Normally, I would be upset when we have rain in the forecast for the weekend, but considering how badly we need this rain,
we'll take it.
This is great news. Conditions were just too dry. So let's get right into it. We'll start with the hot part of the forecast because that's the pattern we're leaving. 85 currently. We've started to see some clouds move into the forecast. You do see some cooler temperatures a little farther to the west. That is where our next air mass is moving in from, but it's slow to move in. It's going to take it several days before it arrives. Already we're starting to see showers and storms that are developing over parts of Illinois. I think tomorrow we'll see a radar very similar to this, but it'll be just a little bit to the east. Unfortunately, that puts a few isolated showers and storms in your forecast for Saturday. Continued into Sunday as well. Friday football, though, looks great. Dry forecast, but keeping the clouds in play. A bit on the warm side. 80s will become 70s, and overnight lows tonight will drop down into the mid-60s. I'll have more on that rain chance for the weekend coming up.
All right, we'll see you then, Rob. Thank you. Now to two families united in grief to make a positive impact.
One family lost a loved one, a Beech Grove police officer 25 years ago. The other lost a son, an Elwood police officer 2 years ago.
Tonight, Rich Nye shows us how both families are working to better protect police.
Every September, Dee Dee Horn's family joins Beech Grove Police and the community for the Bill Toney Memorial. They celebrate the life of the officer, husband, and father of two girls who was shot and killed in the line of duty in 2000. They want to mark 25 years in a big way.
We're trying to raise $100,000.
The money raised this year will pay for ballistic windshields for Beech Grove patrol cars.
Things aren't actually bulletproof, right? And so you want a windshield that is going to fragment the bullets. It's going to make it safer for the officers when they're on traffic stops, when they get to the scene, ambush situations, to buy them time.
The catalyst for the windshields is Elwood police officer Noah Shanavez, who was shot and killed through his windshield during a traffic stop in 2022. Dee Dee reached out to the Shanavez family. They share not just the grief of fallen officers, but also the difficult, long journey of death penalty cases.
This is the squad car that was issued to Noah Shanavez just before he was killed. It doesn't have a ballistic windshield. Now his family has tried to provide that protection to more officers all across the state.
The ballistic windshields cost about $3,600 installed. The Remember Officer Noah Foundation is donating the cost of a windshield to the Bill Toney Memorial, like they have done for other Indiana police departments.
Yes, it's protecting their officers, but it's also acknowledging and remembering what Noah did and how that needs to be prevented.
It really has come to just the attention of the fact that we need these windshields, and that this family started it because their young son was killed that way, and that we can help one another.
Our officers are willing to take bullets, literal bullets, for their communities. We should do the most we can to protect them.
The Bill Toney Memorial is Saturday, September 27th on Main Street in Beech Grove. Rich Nye, 13 News.
And there is a death penalty connection here between the two families. Officer Bill Toney's killer was executed in May, and the man charged with the murder of Officer Noah Shanavez is the next death penalty trial in Indiana. That's scheduled for January.
And tonight, attorneys for another man on death row here in Indiana are asking to delay his execution.
Roy Ward is scheduled to be put to death October 10th for the rape and murder of a 15-year-old back in 2001. Now, his attorneys won a lawsuit to move forward, claiming there were issues with the execution of Benjamin Ritchie. That is the man who killed Beech Grove officer Bill Toney. Ritchie's attorneys say that he felt pain during his execution, and Ward's team says they don't want the same thing to happen to him, claiming it would violate his 8th Amendment rights. The state says any response to this latest filing must be submitted by next week. Also, a clemency hearing for Ward is scheduled for Monday. Now to neighbors on the northeast side of Indianapolis. They say they are fed up with what they call reckless driving.
And their concerns now have the city's attention. Let's show you where we're talking about. They say this is happening on Westbourne Drive, which is south of 46th Street, not far from Binford Boulevard. Samantha Johnson spent the day helping people there get answers.
We've been here 21 years. And this used to be such a quiet neighborhood. If you stayed on this street, you would understand how we feel. And most of these neighbors have been here 20, 25, 30, 35 years.
Miss Joyce can watch traffic from the comfy seat inside her garage. And recently, she's seen lots of speeding and reckless driving. Neighbors off camera telling me they're seeing it too.
We have had our mailbox hit twice. There is a speed limit sign discrepancy.
All on a street with no lines and no room for error.
We can't stand out there with a sign to try to slow them down. That's not our job.
Neighbors have worked together to put up these signs, an online survey to share concerns and keep their neighborhood safe.
Those little signs that you see about the neighborhood, the neighbors are going around because they're the ones with their grandkids and their young kids trying to do something, but what do you do?
Those concerns caught the eye of City County Councilman Ron Gibson.
Well, you got lots of houses here, and you got families, and so people are constantly coming in and out of their property, out of their driveways, as this car speeds by doing more than 25 miles an hour.
Gibson took the neighborhood's 4 recommendations to the city, and he says 2 changes are happening right away.
Making sure there is consistency in the speed limits and the signs, and making sure the signs are legible and clear today.
That's not enough. I'm just going to tell you straight, that's not enough. We need speed bump. Maybe you just put 3 on the street.
Councilman Gibson says the city is considering it. He expects an update in the coming weeks. On the northeast side, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
We'll continue to follow that. Also tonight, the ACLU is suing Attorney General Todd Rokita for his investigation into a nonprofit refugee group.
The AG issued a civil investigative demand to the Exodus Refugee Center, one in Indianapolis, one in Bloomington, and asked for information about its practices. The lawsuit argues that Rokita violated the organization's First Amendment rights. It also says that order retaliates against Exodus for its activities, which they say are in fact protected by the Constitution.
Tonight, neighbors in Fountain Square say they are ready for their street to get back to normal. A homeless camp in the headlines for months is now officially cleared.
This is just south of downtown Indianapolis. Ashton Hackman explains why city leaders think that a new approach is really more effective in getting more people into permanent housing.
Streets to Home Indy says the encampment here on Leonard Street in Fountain Square was bigger than the original test model, but said it was a perfect example of their solutions in action.
It's the second encampment cleared since July, with more to come. 18 people who called the camp home now in their own housing. Coalition for Homelessness Intervention and Prevention helped the city launch Streets to Home Indy just 2 months ago. Phase 1 is using $8.1 million to get the roughly 350 people living on the streets into housing.
We've been able to take kind of that proof of concept and really put it into practice and show that we are capable as a community of partnering to house people permanently in that 4 to 6 week period.
Streets to Home Indy tells us they won't publicly announce what encampments are getting help in the future. That's to ensure that extra people won't flood those areas and that they can help those people in need. Reporting in Fountain Square, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Coming up, an event that brings tens of thousands of people to the Speedway every year. But what happens when severe weather hits the area? We're going to take you inside the track to show you what it takes to keep everyone safe when there's a big event there. Rob?
And I know we have big events this weekend, but we also have some rain chances. Not expecting severe storms, but I'll let you know what to expect if you have outdoor plans.
All right, thank you, Rob. And the Colts looking to keep their hot start to the season going. We've got injury updates as the team gets ready for the Titans.